Look at the beautiful. Is that the moon or just regular? Okay, that's a regular lamp. It's not the moon.
Are you sure?
Is the moon out here? No, it was a full moon a couple days ago, actually, last
Maybe
week.
a new moon.
Yeah, it's a new moon.
No,
It's a new moon. You sure? Anywho, guys, we just got done watching Inside Out 2. So if you have not seen the movie, you need to take your ass up there and go watch it. And I'm low-key full from the food we had, but I want y'all to know we're about to get into a very deep and intellectual conversation. So if you're here, please leave the like button. If you are here in the future, I want you to know that you being here is important. And because you are here, that means you appreciate you and you want to grow and evolve as a person and you want to build the best version of yourself every single day. This is what I do. This is what my boy does. This is what my brand is about, which is why we're both wearing the same shirt. You feel me? You dig? And great things is gonna come, and this conversation is gonna be an amazing one. Dre, you could wonderfully introduce yourself to the wonderful people.
Well, that's the best part about being online. They see all the bloopers.
Facts. All right.
But I'm Drayden Lack, aka Patrick Sappy, aka
Elo Dre.
that's my beat tag. But
Oh God.
I've been friends with this guy for over 4 to 5 years.
I think
now.
it's been about 4.8.
I'll give it round up to
Yeah, 5 years.
5. So I was saying about 5 years now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And our first spiritual enlightening conversation was what, 2020? 2019?
It was 2019. It was before. No, it was after I came back from college. 2020.
So 2020 at yours truly. Quick trip.
Yeah, quick trip. It was 1 a.m. We was there from 1 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. And then we realized it was 4:30. He was like, "Oh shit, okay, it's time for us to go." And then I think the second or third one, we pulled an all-nighter and had a wonderful conversation. And we've gotten to a point where, one, we're better at utilizing the timing of what we say and how we say it and how powerful it is. So we've taken everything that we learned in our conversations and also in life experiences and use it as a way to adjust in life so that we can be the best version of us every day.
It's beautiful. Like, I don't think y'all realize how amazing it is to have someone that you could spend literally the whole day with. Like, from this pitch darkness into watching a new day arise. That's very powerful.
It is.
Just talking about spiritual stuff and just actual life.
What's good, Dusty League? That's a funny ass name, but love you, man. Thank you for being here. So if you're here watching, please like the live. We're gonna get into some very interesting stuff. We're just giving y'all the intro because I ain't gonna cap. Like I said, this food is digesting, and goddamn, yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna give y'all a small understanding of what my brand is, just so y'all can understand what I'm going to bring to the world very soon. And it's simply the word elevation. What does elevation mean? Arising to the occasion, adjusting and being the best version of yourself, and then accepting the fact that you have people that is willing to help you. The energies inside of you is always willing to help you. You have to be open and honest with yourself to align yourself with these energies so that you can develop a greater This nigga was going 10 miles per hour. Being able to align with the energies inside of you and the people around you that truly match your energy and what you want to give to the world is important. And that's what my brand is about. And I'm gonna get deeper on it on a later date, but that is just a summary of it. Me and Dre, like we said, we've been friends for 5 years. And in this journey, Jared Cinco, in this journey, we've definitely not only learned how to damn it! In this journey Bro, it's never a dull moment with this guy. And if you ever got friends like this, bro, please cherish them. I made a TikTok video about this. If you got people around you, please cherish them. Come on this side, so I don't be like, there you go, because I don't want to keep getting in the thing, blocking you out. Yeah. So, all right. Inside Out 2. I'm going to be real. That movie is a 10 out of 10 like the first one because it shows you the importance of not only the version of you that you perceive yourself to be, but also...
Oh, wait. Disclaimer alert.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers!
Facts. We finna get deep into the movie. So, I told y'all in the beginning, if you ain't seen it, go see it. Can you... All right. If you ain't seen Inside Out 1 or 2, I'm sorry, but we're gonna spoil it. I advise you to, if you ain't seen it, leave, watch it, come back, and it's gonna make sense. And we're gonna get into it. So these emotions that we have on a daily basis direct us to certain actions that align with us to feel a sense of balance in our life. And if we have too much of anything, it could be destructive. I can be happy all day, but then I'm not able to appreciate the other emotions that I have to keep me in balance with my life so that I can be who I need to be moving forward. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in Inside Out 2, anxiety, a lot of people move with that energy. A lot of people. Like, here's a question I'm asking. I'm asking this question. Cooking. I'm gonna have fun and leave watching this back. I ain't gonna cap. So, I'm gonna ask you this question. What was the most anxiety-felt point in your life?
I say my last relationship.
His last relationship. Okay. For me, I would say, excuse me.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Damn.
I've never felt that much anxiety in my life.
And I was there for that whole journey. It was very crazy. It was very, very crazy.
Like I even tried out for sports and I never felt that much anxiety.
Man.
By the way, I'm the only person that can guard him. Don't at me.
That is high-key true. that is high-key true. Like, the only time I don't play up to my par is if I get in my own head. But anywho, that's not the point of this conversation. I want y'all to understand how important it is to utilize your voice. And that's what the biggest thing of what this live is about. This is how you accept duality. Accepting duality is in many, many forms. But we're going to talk about two forms because yin, yang, black, white, light and darkness.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Exactly.
I don't like peanut butter.
Okay, so look. The dark side of duality. No, I'm gonna let you say the dark side. You're more.
You heard that, guys? I'm dark.
Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about the light side of duality. That means that you see the positive in everything. You see the light in any situation. This is good, but guess what? If you have the ability to see only the light, you will always be in the spotlight, meaning people will see everything you do. You can't have no type of privacy. You can't have your own secrets. Things are all out in the open. And this causes major problems for the future because if you're known for always being in the light, then that means people will have their own perceptions of you in that light. And until you're able to acknowledge, like, damn, I need to find a better way to utilize my light instead of pushing it out so much. How can I use this light internally, which is using your voice? Sound itself is creation, is light. Utilizing your voice allows you to use your light for a better purpose for yourself instead of for others. Now, what do you have to say about what I just said? Like, give your spin on
I like how you mentioned the point of everything being in the spotlight, because that's how it feels when you have what I call over excessive positivity.
it. Yes.
The person that's always smiling in your face at 6 a.m. and you just woke up.
Facts. Yeah.
The person that's laughing at nothing,
Mm-hmm.
literally nothing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not funny, it's obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
The person that just wants to fit in because, not because they want to be the star of the show, but because it feels like it's fulfilling,
Yeah.
being wanted, needed. But I would say that's the dark side of too much positivity, because here's how it ties into the movie. That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch number 1 of Inside Out, the whole message behind it is you have joy, yeah, but not every moment in your life needs to be happy, which is why sadness takes the role at the end, and it's very important, because as you can see, joy was like anxiety in that moment within the first one, where she wanted to control everything and kind of dictate sadness and what to do and what not to do. Like, okay, we can feel sad, but for 3 seconds. We gotta be happy all the time. We can't let people see our tears. We can't even let ourselves see our tears. And that's too toxic for you. So when you get all that exposed into the light, it's like, the way I see it, excessive and extreme happiness, because I wouldn't even label it joy,
Yeah.
even though in the movie it is all inside. It's two different things. Like, happiness can be changed,
Facts.
but joy is internal. It can't really be changed if you have it. But if you have too much of it, like my friend said, it can be destructive.
Right.
To the point where you just ignore all the other emotions because they don't make you feel great. And the whole point of being a human, in my eyes, is you're not supposed to be great. You're not made to be perfect. You have to accept the size of yourself that can get angry, the size of yourself that can be disgusted at things, the size of yourself that can be sad, especially the sadness in men.
Yeah.
Women, with the new wave of what I call women masculinity,
Shit.
I'll just leave it at that, but
Yeah.
you're starting to use your sadness of not feeling accepted, and even that anxiety of how you look or how you feel or how you're supposed to act in order to get what you desire, but you're turning that anxiety and that fear and that anger into thoughtish behavior. It's only going to stab you in the back, which ties into my next point in the second movie. There's 3 total sides of yourself that you need to understand and evaluate and reflect on daily.
3.
The first one is your innate morals and values. Whether they are good or bad is up to you, but this is what you were born with. This is when you came into the life that you're living and you're raised by your parents and you're small. In the movie, the example was, I'm a good person.
Right. Yeah.
That would be your innate first personality. I'll label it. Your first core personality. The next one, I say your negative or your shadow personality. The sides of yourself that you don't necessarily like, but they exist and they build a part of who you are on a different side of the coin.
Facts.
a lot of people don't want to give that side of themselves because they don't want to be seen as, oh, I'm a bitch, or I'm not shit, or I'm not good enough, to quote the second movie. The second one, anxiety took control, and it was all for the sake of rationalizing and justifying that she's doing the right thing in order for protection, but really it's leading to her destruction. And when she gave the beliefs of, ooh, if I keep doing these things to gain gratification from others, instead of building the joy and all that I have within myself and accepting that, then I can be the best person in the world if I just throw all that away, which is what happened. So now we get the shadow personality that's saying, I'm a good person. No, I'm not good enough to be a good person.
Right.
And that leads us to number 3, which is the most powerful thing in the movie. And it's what I call the true self. And I don't say that to be cliche, it's the true self because it's the duality, the title of the video, the duality of both sides of you.
Facts.
You can't just be all positive all the time and see yourself as a good person when you know you're doing fucked up things, or you know you have flaws and you don't accept them. In the movie, there was a part to where the innate self, the first self, was in the trail of bad memories that's been piled up. And in the movie, they label it as bad memories, but I call it baggage.
Yes.
That's all of the negative emotions you've ever felt in your life that your brain and your joy is telling you, we don't need to feel those right now because we can't handle that.
And hold on, pause right quick. Change joy to your heart. Your heart is your main center that gains your emotions and pushes these emotions out. When you are avoiding feeling something, your heart does this thing where it pushes it to the side and it turns into a distant memory, kind of like a distant relative you ain't seen in a long time, but when you see him, it's like, oh shit. It's the same things with emotions. Sometimes something will happen in life where that old emotion will come back out and you be like, damn, this happened a long time ago and I'm feeling this now. That is your chance to actually address this emotion and allow your heart to grow from this actual moment. Go ahead and continue.
In the movie, the only way they could get back to bring the innate self back to Riley, who's the main character, if y'all don't know, is by riding the bad memories into the stream of consciousness that brings up her beliefs. What you believe doesn't all have to be good and it doesn't all have to be bad. Your beliefs is what makes up you as a person.
Yes.
And in that movie, pretty much all the emotions are like, no, what's going on? This is not her. But in reality, it is.
Yeah.
You can't let your emotions define you, even though they're real enough to feel them.
Right.
Even to the point where we have a whole movie making personalized characters, literal personifications,
yes,
of these emotions because we feel them and they affect our lives so much. But if joy is the heart, then I say anxiety is the brain.
Yes, it is. Because the brain actually moves faster than the heart. The heart is what pumps things out. It gets things in directions, but the brain sets the idea, sets the plan. And the heart and mind are two separate entities, just like how anxiety is one thing and joy is something else. When you are in unison, this is where your duality of who you are works together. And this is where your ideas, your emotions can work hand in hand to give you greater aspects of what you want. And then you can also detach yourself from things that do not suit you. So he actually put me onto something. Drake put me on to something a while back, where when you rationalize something to yourself, if you slow down that word, rationalize sounds like rational lies. So from time to time as human beings, during the day, not even like in a week span, in a day, you may catch yourself saying certain things or believing certain things that are not actually you. And you being not only the observer of your thoughts and the observer of how you feel, it is your job as the person who is controlling the body, the person who's attached to this body, to understand that when it comes to your emotions and thoughts, you have to slow down and understand what is true and what is a lie, what is true and what is a trick. These things are important because if you can't find this sense of self, something else will project themselves onto you and you will align yourself with that. So it was a part in the movie where she's a 13-year-old girl. She's going from a transition from 8th grade to high school, and in the summertime, or it was a weekend, right?
I think it was just during the weekend.
It was a weekend before she went to school. And this is where she recognized not only the disconnection from her friends and the connection from a person that she looked up to, a person who she looked at as a role model. You can try to obviously be like your role model, but if you're not being yourself in the process, you're gonna end up developing a version of you that you never was in the beginning. And when that happens, this is where you can high-key have a midlife crisis at an early age, because a crisis is a representation of you basically separating who you truly are from your authentic self. And let's use a real life scenario or a real life example. If you have a car and the wheels are like, let's say 48 inches, and you always need 48-inch wheels, tires on your car, you should not look at a Lamborghini who has 68-inch wheels and be like, I ain't gonna lie, I need that. You can't do that, because that's not what you have. You have to embrace what you have. And if you look at something else and it inspires you, work towards it. And then guess what? As you work towards something, you're going to start developing your version of it, and then it becomes even more gratifying for you. This movie deep. Y'all really should go watch it.
This is very deep.
Like my bro, the what was the part in the beginning that really got me? Okay, so I'm gonna get this part. They were asleep, the emotions were asleep as the body is asleep, because you don't feel nothing while you're asleep, right? So, but you do, but that's another conversation. Point of the matter is, these emotions were woken up out of their bed because there was a light bulb saying puberty. And when puberty hits, that means your body is going through a specific change and certain things start to happen. You get more hormones, you get more different aspects of who you are, which is how these, yes, higher levels of sensitivity. So that means more of your body starts gaining more emotions, right? Now, as soon as they woke up and this alarm went off, their brain of the woman, of the girl, went through a reconstruction. This reconstruction doesn't just happen in puberty. It happens in all stages of your life. So the girl was 13, turning 14. They didn't say what her birthday is exactly, but she was 13, basically turning 14. I believe every 7 years, our body goes through a dramatic change where we are reconstructed inside of ourselves. And 5 out of those 7 years gets us prepared for that reconstruction slowly but surely. So for instance, I'm 23. When I was 20, I went through a major change that started to reconstruct how I think, how I process my emotions, and how I process dealing with other people. And I'm pretty sure you went through the same thing too. And because of that, that means we need to embrace each step we take, because you could take 10 steps back, but those 10 steps better be very much like purposeful, intentional, because regardless, everything that happens in life, I believe it happens for you, not against you. And during that process, you got to be observant and know the power of your voice. Know the power of your voice.
I add on, know the power of your outer voice, but also know the power of your inner voice too.
Yep.
Because in the movie, she basically, the main character had an anxiety attack. And the way it happened was anxiety basically kicked out all of the core emotions that you need. And she was basically like, you know, I'm gonna take control, I'm the top dog. Once she starts taking control, more negative things started to happen within her relationships with her friends, more within herself. And every time anxiety left a belief within that chamber of beliefs, it was jagged, it was electric light. And anxiety is orange. Orange is a psychological color of excitement. So the way I see anxiety is a mix between happiness and fear.
That's tough.
Because it's one way to feel fear, like real fear, like I fear this, compared to, oh, this makes me anxious. Like the thought of it gets my heart racing, and it's like the adrenaline rush, but at the same time, I'm afraid of it. So in the movie, it was all, the most powerful messages was every time they touched a string in that belief to me, because it was an overall message about Riley as a whole being. I'm kind. I'm not good enough. If I do this, everybody will accept me. All these things you tell yourself, but we don't have that simulation playing outside of ourselves, like, oh, this is what's going on inside.
Yeah.
All we see is just real life.
Yeah.
So when you put it all together, really, the reason why I love the Inside Out series is because it's a testament to grow your inner self, for one. And another thing, it's just exposing yourself in a way.
Yeah.
And I love how the main character is a female, because I feel like that's the kind of people who need it most. Like, not to be judgmental or anything.
No.
Men need it too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of fucked up men that don't know their sense of purpose, who they are. They just aliases of a grand scheme of the bad boy.
Yeah.
That's basically all men are nowadays.
Yeah, and that bad boy has so many different variations that creates that. And, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, but really understand that when he says that, because movies like this really strikes the heart so much, because rather if you are a fan of animated movies or not, they show you things that normal real life movies don't get to show you. And because the power of patience, stillness, and even darkness, you get to really understand who you are. And as you understand who you are, you get to actually have the ability to fix yourself. We are not who we were 15, 10, 20 years ago. We were, like, for instance, at 20, I'm 23. 10 years ago, I was 13. I am not the same person as I was at all. And I did not become a, like, put it in this form. If I was 13 playing a game all day, I didn't become a well-known streamer that everyone knows about right now. I chose the better route of gaining intelligence and wisdom. And then when I do want to tap into that 13-year-old version of me, I can use my wisdom and intelligence as a way of gaining a better way of understanding life while I'm living it. Once again, another spitballer going 5 miles per hour. God damn. Oh man. So really it's beautiful. Like I always say, life is so beautiful. Life is beautiful because like you get the chance to fix all of your wrongs in one life if you decide to do so. You get the chance to create something that can influence the future so much that you become a legend. Like, and legends never die, they live on forever. AKA Tupac, Biggie, Juice WRLD, Nipsey, name a legend. Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what was
I just want to say something about the step back.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I learned something a while ago from a sermon at Word of Faith, the church I go to.
Right.
And Pastor Bishop and the founder said, the only reason you should be stepping backwards in your life is to prepare yourself to catapult forward.
Oh, go ahead. That's funny, bro.
And he also said, he used a car as an example, but he said, why do you think cars are designed for us to always look forward? He said, why do you think the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror? Because all that you need to pay attention to in your life is what's ahead. You only have to look back at glimpses. When you drive, do you look back at the rear view mirror the whole time? No, you'll crash.
Yeah.
Do you look at the side view mirrors the whole time? No, you will crash. You always look at the windshield. You make your decisions, whether it was a right or wrong decision, through the windshield. Even if you make those wrong decisions in real time, using the car analogy and taking it a step forward, like let's say you're looking through your windshield and you make a bad turn and now you're in a crash. You're not gonna look at your rear view mirror and be like, what the fuck happened? Like, no, you can't do that in real life.
Can't.
You gotta face what's ahead of you. So even in that aspect, in real time, you can't look back.
You can't.
The only reason you're going to look back is to pull something out from the past that's going to strengthen you. And that's where we get into those inner voices. For example.
Say that one more time, Dre. Say that one more time, Dre. One more time, bro.
I said the only reason you should be able to look back is to pull out something from your past that gives you strength to move forward with.
Let that sit for a second, bro. Let that cook on the grill. Let that sizzle with tea. We gon' and then he's not done. He's gonna add some honey, get a spoon, and start that bit up. Oh my God. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But that's something I went through personally because I can say this in this top tier. I'm a COVID survivor twice. And I could laugh about it. That's the best part about it. I wasn't the type that was crippled, but I was out for a good 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And during that 4 weeks, it happened at the same time. I was 20 years old, and I had the biggest shift in my life through the last relationship I was in, me being sick. I had to be in the house, in my room all the time. Most people would get depressed instantly because they would feel everything is stripped away from them. And they would go back to their past memories of joy and use that joy to kill themselves. I didn't do that. I took appreciation within the moment. I said, okay, I've always wanted time to grow myself in certain areas. Now is this time. I learned something recently from the most recent sermon. And I don't remember it fully, but it said if you always focus on the bad things, everything will become an obstacle. But if you always focus on the good things, you'll start to see opportunities.
And recognize both words are an O. So which O do you want to be? Do you want to focus on obstacles or opportunities? Damn.
But I'm not done yet,
Keep cooking, bro. Keep cooking. Keep cooking.
So as we move forward on into the story, I could have sat there and wasted my 4 weeks becoming a sack of shit. But I decided to become better. I decided to actually focus on myself and reflect, evaluate, and act. Instead of thinking about, damn, I'm in my room, I can't go outside, there's nothing I can do, I started thinking to myself, now I have more time to draw, perfect my craft. Now I have more time to journal, figure out who am I for real. I have time to figure out what are the negative sides of myself that I allow myself to lock away for no reason, instead of accepting it, like in the movie, to get to my true self. What are the positive things that I use to suppress those emotions? What fears do I have that are limiting me from being the best that I can be in a joyous mindset? How does fear lock away my happiness or joy? All those questions I asked myself, and I found the answers. I can't tell you how to find those answers because you're your own person. And I can't tell you the answer that I found. You got to do your own research on yourself.
Yeah.
You got to treat yourself like a case study. Because if you don't, you'll never learn about yourself. If you see yourself as a book in a library, how many of y'all go to the library for one? And then two, how many of y'all read textbooks? You can't see yourself like that. You got to see yourself as a case study, something you want to investigate.
Right.
Like, okay, so they died because of this. Let's put all that together and see how it happened. That's step number one. Gather up all the evidence against yourself as to why you feel the way you feel. He ain't cleaning shit though.
The ground is already clear.
Oh,
He's leaving. Okay. Boy getting paid to drive and clean the floor.
But that's step number one. You gotta build evidence, not only against yourself, but for yourself. You gotta be your own attorney and your own defendant, or whatever law terms it is. You gotta be both sides. You gotta be able to antagonize yourself and be for yourself. Like, hey, for example, in the movie, it was like, I'm mean, but I'm a kind person. That duality is like, that doesn't make sense. Then what are you? I'm me. I'm a person that is kind innately, but I can be mean. I can be selfish. I can be needy, excessively needy, to want to be accepted by everybody. I can be naive. That's what that's called. I can be arrogant, but at the same time, I'm very smart. Being truthful with yourself, a lot of people will see that as like, you're not being real. But the point is not to be real in a sense of to the outer world, to the masses.
Right.
The point is to be authentic.
Facts.
With yourself and with others. If you don't have anybody that accepts you for you, you're not with the right crowd. And they're ultimately going to tear you down just like you're tearing yourself down. So always build up evidence for and against yourself. It's just like telling somebody, hey, you need to stop drugs, or hey, you need to stop this, or oh, I need to stop this, or oh, I need to stop doing this. Stop saying I need to stop or you need to stop and just leaving it at that. That doesn't help. You gotta give something in return. Because as humans, we can't fight our own will. Believe it or not. If it's innate within us, we cannot fight it. If I say to myself, okay, I'm gonna stop eating sweets for the past 2 weeks, and I'm surrounded by bakeries, and I'm surrounded by cookies, I'm surrounded by people eating all types of sweets and sugar, I'm gonna cave in. Just because it's my innate desire to fulfill my need, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You gotta be, I forgot what I was going.
I feel like I get where you're going with this. So
No, like I literally lost my train of thought. It just left.
It'd be like that.
Oh
I got
my
you though.
God.
I got you though. I got you. So what he's getting at is you have to master yourself. You have to master the fact that your nature is going to want to do whatever it can, because guess what? You're living in a life where whatever you want to do, you can do it. It doesn't matter how you want to do it. You can do it your way. But understand, your way can destroy the world around you and can also destroy you internally. So everything you do, if you can find a way to encourage a better version of you, which also encourages a better reality, it makes your balance a lot easier. And I can give you a wonderful acronym for the word me, because a lot like the idea you said when it comes to, you can be innately angry, or you can be kind, you could be smart, or you could be arrogant. It's not about trying to fit these different aspects and just be that. We are multi-dimensional energies. M-E. We are multi-dimensional energies. We are not just one thing. You do not wake up and be that same person you were that first hour of the day the whole day. You're not that. Like, the person I am at work is not the same person I am when I get off work. The person I am when I'm cooking breakfast and eating is not gonna be the same person I am when I'm eating dinner. You have different aspects of you that you tap into during the day and night. Because the freaks come out at night. That idea. And then also, when the sun shines, people can shine. Because there's a light that is allowing you to light up. So understand that Inside Out is showing you that there is a world inside of you that is making things come out of you. And the moment that you can embrace what happens on the inside is what innately happens on the outside. It works hand in hand. It's like, you ever go to somebody, you want to dap them up, but they have a fist bump, and then y'all have that weird, awkward moment, like when you do these type shit? That is just a combative version of, like, things aren't always going to be in the exact same form that you want it to be. It's like putting your key that you thought it was for your car, but then for some reason your key stopped working. You know what? Let me make sure this is working, type shit. Like, I know it's gonna work. I ain't gonna worry about that. I make that example to let you know that you have to really take your time with yourself, and don't project your problems and your past ideologies of how you view and see people onto the next person you get encounter with, because you don't know what they may have going on. You don't know how their reality may be, and you projecting the past into your future will make the past reappear over and over and over again. Go ahead.
Instead of stopping, find your replacement.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was.
Ah.
Instead of stopping, find your replacement.
Yep.
Because the moment you stop feeling something and you don't replace it is the moment you start building your own pain.
Yep.
It's like a double-edged sword, in a sense.
Yep.
If I say, okay, for all the men out there, I'm not going to be sexual. I'm not going to immerse myself in pornography or any sexual activity because it makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
And so you just completely stop it. You think.
Oh god.
Moments later, you get attacked by your own words. And your inner inner voice starts to rationalize with, you know, you're a human. You have to have this. You need this is a part of who you are. If this didn't happen, you wouldn't be here. So you might as well just indulge while you can.
Yeah.
No, instead of stopping it, replace it. Okay, instead of sitting here and pleasuring myself, I'd rather build myself. I'm going to do push-ups every time I feel this way.
Right.
I'm going to work out every time I feel this way. I'm going to write out how I feel every time I feel this way. I'm going to draw it out every time I feel this way. I'm going to express it in a different way to where I can get it out without demeaning myself.
Right.
Because every time that, this is where it goes into that joy toxicity.
Yeah.
Every time you feel the most immense, pleasurable moments that require no sacrifice, you're constantly stabbing yourself in the stomach. That's why I was saying it's a double-edged sword. Because you feel good, but your spirit and your soul and your body is like, no, I'm losing myself. You start to build that, what people will call an alter ego of yourself, that you don't want anybody to see. But instead, you just need to be open about it. Like, you could be like, yes, I am a sexual person, or yes, I like to have sex, but at the same time, I don't want to have sex with everything and everybody.
Right.
But men nowadays, they don't care if you got 2 legs. That's it. It's on and popping. But one thing that I struggle with is, and I'm just being real, like for all the virgins out there, once you get past that point and you lose it or give it to somebody else, it's like, I've lived 21 years of my life, the inner voice in my head telling me sex is wrong, sex is destructive, sex is lust. All this stuff about how sex can be negative and how sex can only tear you down. It's not real love. But the more you see it for what it is and you use it in the right way and you have a meaning and authenticity behind it, a purpose to it, besides the pleasure, the sexual intimacy is what I'm getting at. Intimacy is the connection for all highways within relationships. If you don't have that intimacy with your partner, it'll show. And there's different forms of intimacies, but it can go into another video. But anyway,
I ain't gonna lie. That for real.
I got notes on that. But anyway, back to the sexual intimacy. Now I'm having a battle, just like with Inside Out 2. I have the good personality of myself, quote unquote, saying, or I'll say that core belief. I'll say that it's not good or bad, it's a belief, it's a core belief that I've had for 21 years growing, saying that sex is bad, sex is this, sex is that. And it's been molding and making that shape. But now that I've lost my virginity, it's like, no, sex is actually this. You can use sex in this way. It's okay to want sex. It's okay to feel pleasure that's purposeful, not pleasure that's momentary.
I wanna interject right quick. This is the power of duality. What he just explained is the power of duality. You can believe something to be negative for so long. Like, for instance, people say money is the root of all evil. If you stay in that belief, money is not going to want to be around you unless you're using it for quote unquote evil. If you can change your perspective on finances, if your belief is money is the root of all evil, it can also be a representation of money is the root of survival. If you can make $1,000 a week, which is about 4,000 a month, you can definitely survive off that and live on your own. But if you're saying money is the root of all evil, and every time you get money, you're spending it, you're technically fulfilling your belief system because that is where you are putting your standard at on that belief. And, excuse me, the power of understanding your light is knowing that whatever you speak comes to life. The power of your darkness is whatever you hide, whatever you keep as a secret, will only be hidden to hinder you until you can accept it. Until you can actually accept it. So for instance, it was a point in the movie where the old emotions were bottled up and put into the vault where they were secrets. It wasn't until the secrets that was already in the vault that these old emotions were in was able to break these emotions out, and so that they can now go back to the headspace and balance the character out. Basically, your secrets can save you if you can embrace your secrets as a way of like a trampoline. This goes into your idea. If you're gonna go back, let it spring you forward. In life, for each step you take, you actually have a trampoline for each step. But you gotta understand, for each trampoline, you must prepare yourself like a mat that you can land on in case you fall behind or in case you fall or miss your step. And lots of people in the world, they're jumping on the idea of making money, jumping on the idea of social media. But if you are authentic to you and you have a value within yourself, you believe you're valuable, that means that everything that you actually do, other people will invest into you, and then they will be inspired off your purpose, off of what you're giving to the world. And if you can inspire others, guess what? You're being in a more authentic reality where you're helping others accept being authentic, which is accepting your duality. This movie, Inside Out, I encourage everyone who's watching this to go watch that movie because it is showing you the power of knowing that your light side and dark sides matter. You can be happy, but you need to embrace when you need to be sad. You can be passionate, but you need to embrace when you need to be angry. You can have anxiety, which is you literally preparing for the future. You can turn that anxiety, which is technically in the term of emotions and doctors and all of that stuff, negative projections, into a, what's a positive form of a future projection? Opportunities. A vision, yes.
Dream.
You could turn, boom. Oh my God, he just said the word. So look, I'm gonna make this connection right here. You can either manifest living in your dreams or living in your nightmares. Your dreams is connected to your visions and opportunities. Your nightmares is connected to depression and anxiety. Your dreams are connected to your opportunities and your visions. Your nightmares are connected to stress and depression. Once you are able to gain unity within yourself, you can actually stand in the center of left or right and understand the decision that you're going to make. Is it going to lead you to your dreams or lead you towards anxiety? And because we live in a life where every day, every hour, every second matters, that can change throughout the day. Each day is a roller coaster. We go through waves, we go through cycles. And in each wave and cycle, we have the responsibility as human beings to decide what wave we want to be on.
And I want to point out something small in the movie that's very powerful, but a lot of people don't realize it. And it's something that I practice ever since 2020, and it helps a lot. So, just like I was saying about replacement and stopping, when it comes to a point of doing that, I had to learn how to take that negative emotion and transfer it into a positive way.
Transformation.
And how does that make sense? In the movie, and towards the end, Riley is now in high school, and she's anxious, excited, and anxiety about if she made the hockey team or not for high school. But it's something she's always dreamed about, being a freshman going into high school. Like Jared said before, you could live in your nightmares or you could live in your dreams. She chose to live in her dreams. We don't know what happens at the end, but her face says that she made it.
Right.
But throughout the midst of that, anxiety was on the midst of another breakdown. And there's two things I want to say. One, when you're going towards something good, an obstacle will always come in your way to test you if you really want it. And number two, the way to transfer that emotion that they showed in the movie, Joy literally said, anxiety, you're overthinking about the future, but that's not happening right now, right? And she's like, yeah, you're right. Here, let's go sit you in this chair and hand you this tea and cut on the massage chair. Doesn't that feel better? Yeah, but of course, anxiety being her character, she's always thinking about something, which is something I encourage all of you to do, but not in a way to where it affects your health.
Right.
So that's when she comes to realize, like, okay, what's something that's coming up in the present or the ever so near future that we can prepare for now? Oh, the Spanish test. That's the example of using that negative emotion and transferring it into a positive way. For example, anger is a very popular one because there's a lot of malice in this world.
Yeah.
Not just like me being a peacekeeper. Like, I like the drama sometimes, but there's a lot of innate malice in us as humans. And we don't know how to transfer that emotion into something positive. People think patience is stopping anger. No, patience is feeling anger and shifting it into kindness. That's patience. Because love is patient and kind and is everlasting as long as you uphold the two. But people don't want to do that. They want to lose patience and gain arrogance and pride and selfishness within their anger. Like, I feel this way, so I feel like you deserve to feel what I'm about to say to you, which is you don't gotta do all that.
Right.
And a way you could use your anger in a positive way, instead of saying to yourself, man, this person really pisses me off, you could say, okay, this person pisses me off, but because of my inner voices telling me I can be me, but I'm a kind person, I'm gonna use my anger in a way to where it enhances my kindness, to where I make them look stupid for making me mad.
Killing them with kindness. Oh shit.
That's the definition of what he just said, but it applies to even today's time.
Yeah.
Let's say your girl does something to you and you feel so mad about it, like you really have to let it off your chest, and you're just like, man, I'm about to go off on her right now. Like, that was just mad disrespectful. Cool, I commend you. But the way I go about it is, okay, I'm gonna let her feel this moment and let her have the victory. Or let her feel. That's how I say it. Because there's no win or lose in a relationship.
Exactly.
If you want to elevate in a relationship, it's no win or lose. It's not a competition. It's whether you want to be together or not. That's just bottom line. That's another video. Anyway, back to my point. So if she feels in a sense of she's won, let her feel that. But also show your kindness. through your anger. Like, you know, I understand you are upset. I could go off on you right now because you really did make me feel upset and make me feel disrespected. But I love you, and the reason why I felt this amount of disrespect from you is because I love you and I feel like I give this, and this. And when you do that, it makes me feel this. And it makes me feel less than of myself. And I'm not here to be with you just to kick it and have fun. I'm here to be with you for the long run. And I don't want to feel like that every time we go through something like this. So if we could come up with a way to where we can both express ourselves in a way to only grow each other when we're angry, that would be much appreciated. That takes a lot of heart to do that. You gotta have a certain level of intimacy with your partner to be able to be open. And in order to get that intimacy, you need to trust both your inner voices. It's like, that's the connection between the two.
Yeah.
Because during that whole moment in the movie, Riley had what you would call an anxiety attack or a nervous breakdown. But the only reason why she was able to come back to is because she was able to embrace those negative emotions and the core emotions, and they all hug the center. And that physical intimacy caused peace within her heart. Right? So now she has a recollection and she knows herself. So when she's not really confronted, but when she meets her best friends that she kind of stabbed in the back for her other friends that she's meeting, she becomes open, honest, genuine. Like, hey, I know what I did was fucked up. And if you don't forgive me, that's fine. I accept that. I'm in the wrong. But I have to let this off my chest. And that's another thing. You have to be intimate, open, and accept who you are. If you're going to keep focusing on that, dang, I really am a bitch, I'm an asshole, I literally just threw away my friends for people that won't even be here in the next 3 years of my whole high school career because they're probably juniors.
That's the funny part. They really were juniors.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're really, like, what's the point? So I'd rather just be authentic with my friends at that moment, like she was. And another small detail that most people didn't realize, even though they zoomed in on it, your real self, just like Jared was saying before, morphs. It had moments where it was like, I'm kind, I'm not good enough, I'm selfish, but I'm brave, I'm encouraging, I'm this, I'm not that. It's always changing. But the thing that amazes me is that humans don't realize that humans are adaptable.
Hold on. Before you continue, a hue is a range of colors. Colors that adapt. Kind of like the colors that you see here is blue and then is orange. These are colors that is adapting. And if you can embrace adapting as a human being, you can embrace adapting to who you truly are as a soul and a spirit. Continue, my brother. Sorry,
wait, no, wait. I was human adaptability. Yes. Found it.
Go ahead.
So, human adaptability. It's funny that they say we learn history to learn our past mistakes so that we don't make them happen again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't label it like that. I would say history to me is learning the adaptations it took to build.
Yes.
Woo! Because that's science.
It is.
And I believe every human has the power of adaptation. It doesn't have to be something as big as, oh, I believe I can adapt enough to where after 7 generations, I can make my lifeline have wings. Like, fuck that. you could be on your weird science shit, but I mean internal adaptation, which is a lot faster than physical.
Yeah.
You think about it, we're both in pretty great shape,
Right.
but it took years
Very much years.
and consistency to build that. All it takes to build your inner self and mold yourself and adapt to a higher level within yourself is one action within yourself. That's it. It just takes one word. And a great example is exchanging have to with get to.
Literally, changing the terminology of what you say shifts the whole paradigm of how you can adjust and how you can grow as a person.
I have to go to work. No, I get to go to work.
Literally.
And I get to make money.
Right.
I don't have to make it. I do have bills to pay, but guess what? I get money to get those bills paid.
Exactly.
You gotta get yourself out there.
It's as simple as that. Like, this is why the power of the words you say can not only influence yourself, but it literally shows who you are in a group setting. You know? Like, if I was to rewatch this in the next couple of days, which I will, I'm gonna have not only a ball watching this, but also embracing the words that we're saying and then start to adjust into greater ways of advancing myself just from re-listening to something that is in the past. This is high-key even a part of human history, this video itself. Because it's on YouTube, it'll never be taken down, and it'll be there forever. That means other humans, people that are either years ahead, months ahead, weeks ahead, whatever, people can come and look at this and then have a sense of self-evaluation while they're watching this, and they can make adjustments so that they can find the acceptance of duality within themselves to grow their light and darkness in a balanced state. This is why it's important to let the movies you watch, the TV shows you watch, the TikToks, all of these things, let it encourage a better version of you. Don't necessarily take what's being said and shift your whole paradigm with it, because a dramatic change can hurt you. It's kind of like,
I have a perfect example.
go ahead.
You get a new fish, a goldfish.
Yeah.
And it's in a pouch and it has that water.
Right.
The water's a certain temperature.
Right.
They're supposed to make the same temperature that's in that water before you drop the fish in there, or else it'll die because of the shift in temperature. It's the same with your body. If you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna get right tomorrow. I'm gonna do 100 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups. I'm not gonna eat no sweets. I'm not eating no dairy neither. I'm gonna be full vegan. And you know damn well you had a nice mushroom Swiss cheeseburger with some fries, extra grease on the sides, some napkins. Yeah, you ate the napkins too. You had a shake, all that. You like, man, that junk was good, but I'm about to get right. As soon as you get to that first day, you'll be like, man, I can only eat the mushrooms that's on that mushroom Swiss. And you're gonna start getting sad. The way my pastor said it, he said, don't try, train.
Bro, the power of words. Changing one T to another T.
And then to go with your point, you can't make a massive change quickly. You have to build yourself up to it.
Exactly.
For example, if you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna stop eating sweets, you gotta give yourself limitations first.
Right.
I'd be like, okay, this first week, I'm only gonna have sweets 2 days out the week, 3 days max. I'll say 3 days just for mercy. I have 3 days where I can eat sweets. The next week, I'm gonna cut that by 1. I can only have 2 days to where I can eat sweets. Next week, 1 day. The next week, eventually you'll have no days where you eat sweets, and it'll be natural because you trained your body to do it. The example my pastor used is running a 22-mile marathon. He said, you know you're a couch potato. Like, if you know you're a couch potato and you like, man, I'm gonna run this 22 miles and it's tomorrow. I didn't train or nothing. I'm gonna go in there and do my best. Now you're sitting out on the curb with a heat stroke, dehydrated because you tried.
Man,
But you didn't train for it.
I even got a personal experience. So, for those who don't know, I played high school football, and I was actually one of the all-star Gwinnett wide receivers in my county for my senior season playing at Berkmar High School. After that year, I was like, you know what? I could possibly take football serious. I'm gonna go to college and take it serious, right? So before I went to college, we got summer break. I went to 2 separate workouts. One was at a D2 college, one was at a D3. No, one was at a D3 college, one was at a JUCO. Now, for those who play sports, JUCO high key is one of those like, JUCO high key is really just D2 because everyone that was D1 goes to a JUCO college to get a fast change in their grades and their GPA so they can go back to D1. I went to the D3 ones, the D3 tryouts, played amazing. I made a nigga fall. Views went up to 1,000 on IG. A couple weeks later, I go to the JUCO one. I did not train before. I didn't work out before. All I did was smoke and chill. I go to the runs, worst routes I ever ran. I was getting destroyed. Only caught 1 pass. I played horrible. So this is a personal example of when you want to shift and be in tune with your duality, you have to take your time. Understand that you are not no damn robot.
Don't try, train.
Exactly. Train yourself. Right now, I'm overcoming an injury from my groin. This is what, week 2.5 now? I think this is week 3. This is the beginning of week 3. I am just now able to jump on my groin for real. I haven't ran on it yet for real. I played once last weekend, but I'm not going 100% because I understand the process of healing is important. And if you don't want to re-injure, you gotta let things heal and you gotta strengthen yourself. And that's the same thing when you want to shift things as far as what bro was saying when it comes to sweets or switching certain habits that don't suit you. You have to first understand the healing process, but first, before you heal, you have to be revealed what the issue is, what you want to change. And then healing is changing what needs to be done. And then after you reveal, you heal, then you train. Once you get to that training point, build from there. Then that's where the elevation, that's where the growth, that's when you reach a peak. And then you just go from there. You just continue to rise, continue to grow, continue to elevate.
That leads me to another wise saying I learned. If you know what the problem is, you know half the problem. Or you have half of the answer to solve it. So you gotta listen to that duality of what you see as the worst within yourself, what you know is the best within yourself. And train your mind and your body and your soul to align with all that by being intimate with yourself.
And
that's why I feel it's not necessarily this generation lacks love, it lacks intimacy. It lacks the ability to feel a deeper connection because of what society wants to view as what is popular, what is needed. For example, Sexy Red.
yeah,
I'm not coming against her in any way.
we're just speaking of fact.
I'm just saying, as an icon, Sexy Red is a great influence as far as women believing in themselves and uplifting themselves to know that they the shit. But the way she's going about it isn't the best way to go about it. Like, to me, what I see as a powerful woman is a woman that knows her worth, knows what to do with it, and has that moral and value of, if you want it, you're gonna have to prove yourself. I'm not just gonna give it out to anybody. You gotta actually work for me. Because I can do this, this, and this. Do I really need you?
Yeah.
I need affection. And I do need that intimacy. But I'm not gonna have it with just anybody that can give me pleasure. I need it when I'm not at 100%. I need it when I have my monthly cycle. I need it when I'm tired. I don't feel like cooking or doing the things that I know I can do, and I need support. Can you give me that? What other than dick can you give me?
True.
Is what I believe a strong-willed woman would ask.
To be real, and to add on that, it's like I believe that the women that are high in value, have strong morals for themselves, and respect and love themselves, they're not gonna tell you what they bring to the table. They're gonna wait for you to show what you're able to be as their partner, whether it is a friendship or a romantic relationship, even a business partner. You have to prove yourself so that they can now trust that you can be who you can be in their life.
But because it's duality, we gotta talk about the negatives of sexy red.
Wee.
So yes, women are being more confident in their bodies, more confident in their sexuality. They know they can make their dude feel good. They can do whatever they want because women rule the world. Cool. But like I said, Sexy Red is an icon. Great. The message, not so great. The message is fuck any and everything because I can. And that's what bitches do. That's the message.
It is.
Sexy Red is teaching these females to be bitches instead of queens. Yes, she has that rep of, oh, I respect her because she's able to see herself in such a high way and show it in her music and be fully authentic with how she likes to get down and dirty. But there's better ways to go about it. That's why I'm a fan, so I'm biased, but that's why I love Ella May's music.
Yeah.
Ella May's music, she embraces the sides of herself that can be jealous, the sides of herself that can be sad, the sides of herself that can be needy and want that sexual affection, but at the same time is emotionally scarred, so she doesn't need that. She wants that emotional intimacy. She can feel and express the pain, show it to you through her music. But at the same time, she knows her worth and she can please any man if she wanted to. She has that self-respect. But that's the duality from a female perspective. From a male perspective, what's going on with men nowadays is y'all are being too fucking hard. It's either you're being too hard or you're being too soft.
Yeah.
You're being too soft to the point to where it cuts you off. And you have to become an Elias of yourself. That alter ego of like, oh, I gotta be hard for these bitches and just fuck them and leave because that's what they want to do anyway. No, don't give them what they want. Give them what they deserve.
Ooh.
Time.
Facts.
Intimacy. Care. Now that doesn't mean give it to anybody. If you see that they're on that energy like, oh, I'm just gonna fuck you and leave, you're my snack or whatever, my munch.
You finna get munched.
No. Screw that, just leave.
Yeah, you need to leave.
Silence is power.
Yeah.
If you are if you are in a bad relationship, personal experience, my best advice to give you is stay about your morals and be silent. And until you get to that point where you've had enough, leave. There's nothing holding you back. The only thing that's holding you back is that fear and anxiety of, oh, I'm never going to find somebody again that can love me. I'm never going to find love. I'm never going to feel this same affection again. That's what's causing you to stay with this person. And that's relating again to the movie, building that negative shadow version of yourself saying, I'm not good enough. for anybody else. I have to bear with this because it's for the greater of my future self that I can't see. I'm gonna say that again. It's greater for the future self that I can't see. And if you can't see yourself in it, then don't be in it.
Man.
And it's just, I would encourage you to do that because that's the duality within men. We have that fear, that anxiety of men are dispensable. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
The hard and cold truth since the beginning of time that humans have been on this earth. Women look for a man that looks strong, dependable, like a true masculine figure. If you're not good enough, they'll leave you to find protection. But those times are over. You can be smart, successful financially as a man and be able to provide for your woman, and she'll stay with you because you're strong in that area.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you lose value because you're not strong physically or you're not strong in other aspects that show masculinity. You're just strong within what's authentic to you, and that's what draws the women to you. And that's the most powerful thing, which is why the infamous but truest statement in the world, don't worry about females, just be yourself,
Literally.
is real. Because I'm pretty sure you could go up to any high-minded woman right now and you could be like, what's the most attractive thing in a man? A man that has confidence in himself, a man that can be himself, a man that is authentic. Because that's what draws attention. What draws attention to you is the stuff that females don't see within the societal male. If every male is having their shirts off at the basketball court trying to get the females showing off all the impressive moves, and you in the corner minding your own damn business reading a book, they're gonna be more focused on you than them. Even though they're doing all the movement, they're doing all the partying, they're doing all the drugs, they're doing all the drinks, they have the fancy cars. You're building yourself. You're not even with all the bullshit. They're more interested in that mystery of you. Girls love the mystery. They want to find out who you really are because they know what's in the drugs, the money, the sex. They know what's in the typical bad boy, and they want to chase that because of the excitement of the feeling like I can make him feel good, and it's building confidence within myself. But for long term, that's why it ends. It's momentary compared to the guy who's building himself, always quiet in the corner of the room, doing his own business. They come to find out when they hang out with that guy, yeah, I actually run a business, I do art, I have this many things, but at the same time, I'm not good enough yet, so I'm still learning to build those things. I don't have time to go out and have drinks and all that, even if I wanted to, because I know it'll stump my growth. A woman will look at you with her eyes, she will be like, damn, this is different. Especially if you give her attention, time, intimacy. Because the most powerful thing I heard today, I'm gonna tell it in a story so it can be mine.
I love it. One of your own.
A child goes up for the spelling bee, and it's a kindergarten spelling bee, just for the sake of the lesson.
Yeah.
They say spell the word love. The child spells Time.
That is deep, bro. Damn.
Shout out to my pastor.
Hey, that is a deep one. And that right there is how we're gonna start to close it out. Oh my God. Say that one more time.
The whole thing?
Yes. The whole thing. Oh my God, the moon's right there. Bro. Oh my. I'm gonna let y'all see the moon, man. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's a beautiful color.
We haven't seen it this whole time, and now we see it. It's beautiful. But we're gonna end it off. Dre's gonna say this wonderful story one more time. I got something for you, and I want Dre to repeat something else he said earlier, but we'll get to that. Go ahead.
A child is in a spelling bee. It's a kindergarten spelling bee, so it's easy words. The child walks up to the stand, and the judges go, spell love. The child spells Time.
That's so deep, bro. Oh my God. That's gonna play in my mind for the next week.
And to tie this back into the movie, the only way you're gonna feel that love within yourself is if you spell love the same way that child spelled it and give it to yourself.
Damn, Dre. Ah.
Well,
This is why this guy is my best friend, business partner, and like co-mental alchemist. Like co-mental alchemist. So we're about to end it off in a minute. I have a wonderful saying I created a couple days ago. Instant gratification takes away a longevity of blessings. I'll say this one more time. Instant gratification takes away a longevity of blessings. All right? I want you to bring up the 3 main points that you had said earlier one more time. Because I feel like those 3 are very, very important, and they need to be said one more time before we end it off. Yeah.
oh, so in that movie, what Inside Out number 2 makes you realize is the importance of the innate core self that you start with.
That's number 1.
Your alter ego or your negative self or your shadow, whatever you want to label it. The side of yourself to which you need to understand yourself as a human.
That's number 2.
And then number 3 is the true and authentic self. The combination of both what you see as the positive and what you see as the negative. So that you can have the duality that is you.
Thank you all for watching. This has been the longest live I've done, and we have the beautiful angel number of 88 on the screen. We have the wonderful moon out here. We got the elevation shirts on, merch coming soon. Thank you all for being here. If you are watching this, please like the video. If you were led here from the shorts that I posted from the clips of this, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Dre, do you have any more last words before I end it off?
You forgot to say one thing as a streamer.
Okay.
Click the bell. So when you get a video notification, you know it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Click
Like,
that
subscribe,
bell.
and come back for more.
We appreciate y'all. Peace out. Oh.